like to get your thoughts or maybe a little bit of a debrief on it. One being the hearing with NASA. What happened there?
I think, like the Pentagon, the other agencies, I think they're realizing, again, America believes, and the world, frankly, believes we're not alone. I think they smell dollars. NASA is, they're always hungry for money. They're trying to get to Mars. They're trying to do all this other stuff. Again, since 1947 at least, our government's been lying to us. Now all of a sudden they want money to study the issue. And I just, the folks that they had come talk to us the other day, I didn't know that the press wasn't invited. I would have not come to the meeting if I'd have known that, actually, because it was, they talked about nothing, and they talked about if something was spotted, who would be in charge of it. I think somebody even tweeted about it that, it'd be the Space Force. There again, you're your own agency. And then they talked about how they wanted to get with the other agencies, and so they collaborate. That's the big word they always use. That's sort of a think tank word, collaborate. You hear that a lot, like these leadership groups. We're gonna collaborate, and I think that's what it's just about money. They just want more money to study it, and I say, just turn loose the files, turn loose of everything you got. And then they said, well, what if you saw them with a telescope? Well, we wouldn't see a UFO with a telescope. And they said, and these people said, nothing we have is confidential. That's what they said. Nothing NASA has is confidential. Now think about that. Satellite imagery, all this other stuff is not confidential. So
are they saying it's not confidential?
Entire NASA was not confidential. So
I guess what I'm saying is it below? Are they saying everything is below confidential, or are they saying everything is above confidential? Because confidential,
they said it is not confidential.
So that could be secret and top secret, or that could be completely unclassified.
Speaking out of both sides of their mouth, actually, because as it turns out, they have satellite imagery, and they just said it's what they were saying was everything they have is open to the public.
Open source.
Open to the public. So I just don't buy that. And again, I think those people there, put them on a lie detector, they're telling the truth for what they knew. They're just the little compartmentalized bureaucrats that they were, and that's all their little world. That's all their little world was their little world, and that's all they knew. But again, it just boiled down to dollars. And I asked them, I said, how are we supposed to believe y'all that all of a sudden you want to study these things when you've told us they don't exist? They didn't really have a clear answer.
Nothing.
It was just like a lawyer. Not a very good one at that.
So are they just asking for money? Like that's literally
they were saying, well, no, we're just doing it. We're studying it within our own purview. But if you read the report, the first paragraph, it talks about, I think it's robust resources. We will be using robust resources to study. Now, where are they going to get that money? They're going to take it away from their ships, rockets they're sending to Mars or to the moon again, or what? And no, they got to come up with new money. And that again, this is just feeding the kitty. That's all they're doing. And you have several different agencies, what I've found out, have said they don't exist. Now several different agencies say they do exist, and they're going to start studying them. So what has changed?
I don't know, but we kind of, let's talk about the money. We talked about this on a little warm-up video, but what I don't understand is there's all the black budget programs, and we had talked about all the money that's going to Ukraine, and which is basically feeding the military-industrial complex companies, which are overcharging the government, and that's how we both believe that these black projects are being funded by overcharging the government other areas and then funneling that money in. So do you think that they just believe this is an easy grab now that UFO, UAP activities.
Statistically. And then when you see Schumer's come forward with his thing, and then I see all these UFO people saying, "Are you getting on board, Schumer's? I mean, we've got somebody that's really turned on." I mean, you got the swampiest of swamp creatures. I mean, I don't knock him. Every time I've met him and talked to him, he's been super, nothing but nice to me. But you know, it's just about money. We take in $5 trillion a year, and they want to spend over $7 trillion, and that's a conservative approach to these folks.
Wow. Do they? I mean, so did NASA? Do they get in depth on what they're going to spend the money on, or is it just, hey, we need more money because we want to study these things? Are they saying, hey,
they couldn't get real specific again, and it's just limited. Their knowledge is limited. It's give us money so we can develop a plan. I mean, that's where it's going to come down to. Give us money and we'll develop a plan, and then we'll come back to you on how we've spent your money. And they'll come back with, it's inconclusive. So why? Because they can continue studying. If they found it and said, hey, we found life. We've got this saucer over here. We've got this group over here. They wouldn't need the dadgum money anymore. So obviously.
Yeah. So in your opinion, this is just complete nonsense.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be giving them.
Give them more money to stay. Listen, if you're going to go to Mars, stick to your knitting. Go to Mars. If we're going to use you to track Soviet satellites, then let's do that. If we're going to, everything else, I think they just need to stick to their knitting.
Yeah.